Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Pocket Pediatrics. So today we will go further in nutrition deficiency series and we will discuss the vitamin B12 deficiency. This is the very important topic as in India the vegetarian people is very much deficient in B12 and the kids also we see on day-to-day basis that kids are also B12 deficiency. They present us with the very late stage. So in B12 deficiency, how can you diagnose, what are the function of B12 deficiency, and what is the treatment of B12 deficiency? Okay, so let's start the video. So now to understand the B12 deficiency, first we will look at the function of B12 deficiency. So B12 is very important cofactor in the various reaction of carbohydrate and lipid metabolism. So you can see those chain and those cycles of carbohydrate and lipid metabolism. In those cycles it has very important role as a cofactor. It also has very important role in conversion of homocysteine to methionine. And B12 is very important for hematopoiesis, CNS myelination, and mental and psychomotor development. So in homeostasis, if some kid have B12 deficiency, he will present with the anemia and other feature. We will discuss it later. Okay. Now coming to what are the sources of B12. So sources of B12 are animal foods, mainly the animal food, because it doesn't contain in the vegetarian diet. So in animal foods like in organ meats, muscle meats, seafood like mollusks, oyster fish, poultry and egg yolk are rich source. So in vegan diet only B12 present when it is fortified in that food. So like in some cereals are fortified with B12 and milk and their products. It contains the breast milk contains B12, but if the mother is deficient, deficient in breast milk, then the baby can have deficiency of B12. So as I have told you that vegetarian diet does not contain B12. So now coming to what are the causes of B12. As it is nutrition deficiency, as it is a nutrient, so mainly the cause of B12 deficiency is inadequate dietary intake like in vegetarian diet. Okay. It can be due to malabsorption like in celiac disease, ileal resection, because the absorption of B12 is in ileum. So it can be malabsorbed in like Crohn's disease, type 1 infection, Helicobacter pylori infection. And third cause is decrease intrinsic factor. So you must have read in like during your MBBS time that the intrinsic factor has very important role in B12 absorption and carrying it to the ileum. So if there is anything that decrease intrinsic factor, so it can cause B12 deficiency like autoimmune gastric atrophic gastritis, pernicious anemia, post gastrectomy. Okay, some drugs have kind of role in B12 deficiency like metformin, proton pump inhibitor, histamine H2 receptor and antagonist. If somebody is taking prolonged course of these drugs like H2 receptor antagonist and proton pump inhibitor, then he can have B12 deficiency. The sixth cause is hereditary intrinsic factor deficiency and Emerson Grasbeck disease. Okay, so now coming to the functions. Coming to the clinical manifestation of B12 deficiency. So as we have seen that B12 has various role in body, so the symptom also will be vast category. So first is a cutaneous. What are the cutaneous manifestation? There will be hyperpigmentation, there will be jaundice, there can be vitiligo, there will be light color and sparse hair. So when you see the B12 deficiency, B12 deficiency kid, so there will be knuckle hyperpigmentation. This is the typical feature of B12 deficiency. Okay, so if some baby is coming to you with the irritability, not eating well, vegetarian in diet, and light sparse hair, signs of malnutrition, then you can think of B12 deficiency. Okay. Second is gastrointestinal. What are the symptoms of gastro? The child will have present with the glossitis, angular stomatitis, and jaundice. Okay. Third is, as we have seen, that it has role in conversion of homocysteine to methionine. If the deficiency of B12 is there, then child will have hyperhomocysteinemia, which further lead to cardiovascular and thrombotic risk factors. So if somebody is having hyperhomocysteinemia, he is very prone to have strokes and other thrombotic event. Okay. The fourth is hematological manifestation. So in hematological, child can present with anemia. Anemia will be macrocytic and megaloblastic type. There can be leukopenia, and child usually present with the pancytopenia. ठीक है, pancytopenia, child can present with the thrombocytopenia, thrombocytosis. So if somebody is presenting with pancytopenia, with light color hair, with knuckle hyperpigmentation, and then we have to think of B12 deficiency first, because it is very common in India. Okay, of course we have to rule out other causes like hematological malignancy and all that, but first we have to think of B12 deficiency. So the fifth clinical manifestation is neuropsychiatric manifestation. So as I have told you, that is very important role in brain development and myelination, CNS myelination, and psychomotor development. So the B12 deficiency can present with the neuropsychiatric manifestation like areflexia, cognitive impairment including dementia like symptoms, and acute psychosis. Child can have gait abnormalities, child will have irritability, there will be loss of proprioception and vibratory sense, there will be loss, there can be olfactory impairment, there will be peripheral neuropathy, and mostly the we see in clinical scenario, child will present with this infantile tremor syndrome. So we call it ITS, and some children when we diagnose that condition is pre-ITS. Okay, so what is pre-ITS? Pre-ITS, child will not have this tremor. Okay, but he will have all the features of vitamin B12 deficiency like knuckle hypertrophy, light color sparse hair, anemia, pancytopenia, but that is stage called pre-itis. If we treat in that stage only, the child will recover. But if once child become infantile tremor syndrome, the treatment is very difficult. Okay, so diagnosis of B12 deficiency is very important. Okay, early diagnosis is very important. So how can we make diagnosis? We can make by clinical history about vegetarian diet, if he or she had any surgery, ileal resection or gastrectomy, or if there is any typical symptoms of deficiency like irritability. Okay. Second is examination. So we can examine the cutaneous feature. Along with that, we can examine for peripheral neuropathy, areflexia. Okay. Third is laboratory. By laboratory diagnosis, we can do B12 level and peripheral smear. In peripheral smear, we will see the macrocytosis, target cells, pencil cells, and megaloblastic anemia. Okay. So what is the treatment of B12 deficiency? The treatment of B12 deficiency, we have to give the B12 either parenteral or orally. Okay, so if only hematological symptoms, you can give parenteral 250 to 1000 microgram vitamin B12. Okay, but if in case of severe deficiency, if only hematological, child will improve mostly on 1 or 2 doses. If child have severe deficiency and neurological symptoms, the repeated dose will be required daily or on the alternate days for first week, followed by weekly for first 1 to 2 months, then monthly. So duration of, what is the duration of therapy? So if only, as I told you, if only hematological presentation like anemia and pancytopenia, child will improve in 2 to 3 months. But if child has neurological disease, at least he or she will need the 6 month of therapy, and can need the lifelong therapy, like in autoimmune gastritis, atrophic gastritis, or pernicious anemia, and all that. In malabsorption state, those with inborn error of B12 malabsorption, they will need the lifelong treatment. Okay, so that's all for today about B12 deficiency. If you have any doubt, you can comment in comment section, and subscribe and follow my channel. And if so, yeah, that's all for today. Have a nice day.